Chief Secretary, Dr. Shakeel Ahmed, ACS sir from Maharashtra, Bhavani from the Turmeric Board Secretary, and also our Biswajit from FICCI. A very, very good evening to you all and all the officers of Government of Meghalaya, our Secretary, Joint Secretary, everybody is here. A very, very good evening to you all. I see a lot of our entrepreneurs from Meghalaya. I think we brought a contingent of 135 people from Meghalaya. I'm sure everybody is having a good time. I can see that, and the footfalls are great. The location is very good. The weather is very good because we thought it will be very hot. So I know this is not a setting for long speeches, but I think now that we have come this far, I really want to give a little sense of why we are here, why this 140 people from Meghalaya have been brought here. You know, why did we set up all these stalls, and what is the purpose of this meeting? Obviously, everybody knows this is obviously a promotional event, so we want to showcase what Meghalaya is doing in agriculture, in tourism, particularly in spices. So we have spice is the main reason for the festival itself is the Spice Festival. So to me, I feel there are two messages, there are two big things that we are trying to do here. I think the reason we brought the Spice Festival, this is the first edition of the Spice Festival. So we have been doing festivals and events across the country, especially in agriculture, primarily focused in Delhi. So Meghalaya in agriculture, I think the video made a wonderful presentation, but I think if you have to summarize what is Meghalaya's strength in horticulture and agriculture, it is basically fruits and spices. So we do our star fruits are basically, pineapple, orange, strawberry. We are doing a lot of strawberries these days. So we took the pineapple festival to Delhi. We wanted to claim that space, that pineapple means Meghalaya. Basically, that was the whole idea that we wanted to create. And Meghalaya's pineapples, a lot of people tell me, and it's been a personal experience, that once you eat Meghalaya's pineapples, so you will not be able to really appreciate any other pineapple. They are that sweet and they are that amazing. Unfortunately, it's not the season, so we could not showcase those. So over the last 3 years, we have been doing this pineapple festival in Delhi. And now in Delhi, we have established a name that pineapple means Meghalaya. Sweetest pineapples are in Meghalaya. So similarly, now when we think of spices, we all know spices means Kerala. So everybody, I am from Hyderabad, we all from childhood, we know that all good spices come from Kerala. But what you would be very interested to know is that, in fact, just one of our friends, one of our buyers and partners, Satish ji, who is sitting here, was telling me, now we should make the system in such a way that people know spices means Meghalaya. Because we have the potential for it. Because we have been doing over the last 3-4 years, I think post-COVID, a lot of interventions in spices. We already have the star spice. Our star spice is the Lakadong turmeric. We have the best turmeric in the world. In fact, wherever we go, this is the story we take, and I'm very glad that the Secretary of the Turmeric Board is here. So we have Lakadong turmeric, which has a curcumin content of 8 to 12, whereas the average is 2 to 3. And we have ginger, we have pepper. The video showed everything. What we have done in the last few years, which makes us feel confident to come here, as I said, I think that the main reason we are here is now we feel ready. We are ready to kind of showcase our spices, our potential in spices, our entrepreneurs, our branding, our packaging, everything to the wider market. So what we have done over the last few years in spices, and it's the same story in fruits also and in various other crops, is that we have been able to, I think what was mentioned, we have been able to aggregate, we have been able to bring together farmers, because Meghalaya is a small state, but our population is only 38 lakhs, but we have 7,000 villages. That means for any of you, a buyer from a Mumbai or anywhere, even from a Guwahati, if you want to go to Meghalaya and say, I want to buy you a turmeric, where do you go? So you might be able to establish some connection with some set of farmers and try to get some produce. And many of you have done that. You got some products. Some of you had good experience. Some of you did not have some, such good experiences. But basically, I think the fundamental thing is there has to be some point of contact, or there has to be some nodes, some hubs where businesses can go and reach out. I think over the last 3-4 years, what we have done is we have set up those hubs. So the film mentioned about the largest organic spice processing unit in the Northeast being set up in Meghalaya, and we are going to inaugurate it in a couple of months. It will process some 7,000 metric tons of ginger and turmeric annually. So this is a huge thing for a place like Meghalaya. So similarly, we have a turmeric processing unit where we are trying to do curcumin extraction, where we are trying to make these curcumin tablets. So like this, for every crop, we have pepper processing units. So we have now set up these large processing units over the years, and we have established cooperatives, and we have a very strong network of marketing board, and we have an organic society which we call Magnolia. So today I think the entire participation from the agriculture department is from the organic group which is called Magnolia, and from the other all the agricultural and the entrepreneurs brand which is called Meghalaya Collectives, which is owned by the agriculture marketing group. So we have the setup, we have the network of cooperatives, we have the networks of farmers, we have large individual entrepreneurs. If you see many of these stores, there are entrepreneur stores and stalls which are put up here. So they are also in a position to supply. If somebody says, we want 5 metric tons. Again, these numbers I know are maybe small for many of you, but for us they are still big. So if we find a buyer who says that I want 1 metric ton, 2 metric ton, 5 metric ton, today we are in a position to do that. If somebody says we want 100 metric ton, today we are in a position to do that. I think a few years ago, even if you came to the agriculture department, we were not in a position to do that. So I think that is the change, that is the journey we have had over the last 4 to 5 years post-COVID, which is that we have been able to create these large cooperatives, we have been able to invest in large processing units, we have been able to invest in the capacity of our farmers to be able to aggregate, to be able to do primary processing. Of course, again, as I said, so many of you who have worked in Meghalaya know the challenges of the place. So despite all the challenges, this effort has been made, and now I think we are ready to launch. And we brought this festival here, and it's a promise from the state government that we will do this festival every year, because we know that it's very easy to do a one-off event. But I think consistency is the key, and trust is the key in this game. So like how we are doing the Pineapple Festival consistently in Delhi, we'll do the Spices event here, so that there's a continuous forum where our farmers, our entrepreneurs, officers, everybody gets an opportunity to interact with the larger community of buyers. So I think that is the overall story. We're very happy. We are all here. The teams are here. Let us all get connected. After this, we are all having one-to-one meetings. So we'll meet all of you and let us take this forward. So last word, I'm also the Tourism Secretary of the state. So Meghalaya is a beautiful place. Already Cherrapunji and Shillong have been spoken about, but I think there are many places. We have the cleanest river, we have the cleanest villages, we have the living root bridges. In fact, this year's UNESCO World Heritage nomination from India is Meghalaya's living root bridges. So we are very proud of that, and I think like how you go to Agra, you should see the Taj Mahal. You come to Meghalaya, you should see a living root bridge. So there is so much that Meghalaya has to offer in tourism. A few years ago, we didn't have a single 5-star hotel. Today, we have 2 5-star hotels. In fact, the largest 5-star hotel in the Northeast is in Meghalaya with 180 rooms. We have the Courtyard Marriott. So there's a lot of progress in the tourism sector. Again, there I think we are ready for high-value tourism. In fact, already most of our preferred guests come from this part of the country. So we would want more guests to come from here. So we'll have those conversations also. So I look forward to this continued engagement. This is just the start. So we'll stay in touch. We'll continue these conversations, and hopefully we'll be able to do something wonderful for the entrepreneurs, for the farmers who are all here, and also for the state of Meghalaya. Thank you so much, and I look forward to a huge success and to continue these relationships. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your vision.